life. I'm Ishani. If you're watching me for the first time, I'm an intuitive self leadership coach, and I'm very excited for today's live. Today's live is all about words, feelings, and true healing. This is 19th day of my 90-day live series called Codes by Source, where I'm coming to you live every single day to talk about different concepts that I think, meditate, or reflect on, or just actually sometimes even get downloads of from my connection to Source. And today I want to talk specifically about words, feelings, and true healing. So if you're watching me live, I would love to know where you are from. I would love to invite you into this live journey, into this life's journey and this life journey with me. I am super excited that you're here, that you're spending your time and energy with me because I'm pretty sure that source sent you here because I am the kind of person who believes nothing happens because of coincidence. Everything is pre-planned, yet we have our free will. But let me talk about it some other day. But today I want to talk about feelings, words, and true healing. So I invite you to think about it with me. When you're absorbed in a moment, when you're fully aware, fully present in a moment, I you will find yourself out of words. You will find it very difficult to describe what you're going through in that moment. I'm not talking about after the moment has passed, but in that moment. And this stands true not only for a sad moment, but also for a happy moment. At least for me, the kind of person that I am, if I'm truly happy, I get to get teary. And if I'm truly sad, I also get to get teary. Are you also that kind of person? I would love to know. So both emotions take me to the same place, a place where I am at a loss of words. I cannot form words, I cannot find my words. Words are powerful. Words are spell, but words are not as powerful as what you're feeling in that moment. Because when I think about the most impactful moments of my life, I can only feel them. And the beauty of this human life is we can feel it over and over again without the use of words. So, even if I can describe it in the most beautiful way, even that description wouldn't be enough to describe the feeling that I felt, the depth that I felt in that moment. Again, even if it was a sad moment or a happy moment. So, not only me actually, even the most brilliant writers often describe moments only when they have passed, when they have happened, rarely in the moment itself. It is very hard to describe what you're feeling in the moment itself. And today, this is the code that I want to share. For the last 18 days, I've been sharing different kind of codes, concepts, meditations, and today's code is is phenomenal. It is a culmination of what I have realized, what I have felt, b- what I have led myself to finally believe, and what has changed my life. And I want to offer it to you because if you start to embody this, a lot of a lot of things will change. If not, it will give you enough and more to think about, to reflect on. So, life is a felt experience. Life is a felt experience. And an explained experience later. We feel life first and then we find words to describe what we felt. Humans are meaning making machines. I know we all know that. We are meaning making machines. Our brain is wired to connect the dots, to figure out the meaning, to figure out what happened, why it happened. It is through our brain that we find the language, the words to describe what we felt, to so that we can actually understand what happened, why it happened. But that only happens in hindsight. And the beautiful part about hindsight is everybody is intelligent in hindsight. Every single one of us is intelligent in hindsight. When something beautiful happens to us, we try to preserve it through poetry, through journaling, through memories, or through storytelling. Yet, no matter how beautifully we can describe it, language never ever truly allows us to describe the depth of what we felt. And the same stands true for painful experiences. And this just makes me go back to September of 2025 when I lost my grandfather. It is one of the most excruciating pain that I've gone through. It's a big loss, but for me to be able to describe that experience, I don't think I will ever have enough words to describe it. I don't think we have enough or that kind of advanced language that can transmit that kind of emotion, the feeling that I felt, into words. Words have power. Don't get me wrong, words have power, but life is felt first and described later. So we don't so we don't have words to describe. I just went back to that moment. If you have lost somebody, know that you being here is also super important. You can grieve and live at the same time. I just wanted to say that to you. So we don't have words to describe painful and also happy moments, not in the way that they felt to us. Even the most beautiful writers, they often fall short of describing the depth of our emotions. Like I said, human language is not advanced enough to fully express our emotions, our emotional and spiritual and somatic experiences. There are so many things that have happened to me spiritually that I don't think I'll ever have words to describe it. I think it's just, and that's why we also describe how when you put out content, when you write down content, it's more about the feeling with which you are writing it instead of what exactly you're writing. And just be with me, it will give you a lot to think about as we go forward. This also explains why the body holds trauma, because feelings live in us even when language fail us sometimes. Even when language cannot fully describe what we went through, our body holds the feelings. So if you have ever struggled to figure out, to explain what went through in your life, whether it was something deeply painful or joyful, know that you are not alone. It is a universal feeling for all of the human race. We did not come to this earth to become the masters of language. Language is something that we created as humans. At least, not all of us have come here to become masters of language. Some of us have, but not all. We came here on earth to experience the complete human experience, to receive the complete human experience. And I don't think the human experience is just verbal, it is a felt experience. What it likes, what it is to be a human, it is very difficult to explain, but it is very easy to feel. Now, why does this matter? Why am I talking about this? It matters because so many of us these days are carrying regret about past decisions, about who we have been, about relationships that we chose, about the different paths we walked, some things that we tried in our life, the choices we made. And we shame ourselves. We carry that guilt forever in our bodies, and we don't have the words to describe that. But if life is lived through felt experience and not perfect clarity, then every decision you made was based on what you felt right in that moment, based on the knowledge that you had and the resources that you had. So today you might call it a bad decision, but in that moment you made that decision because you felt it was the right decision based on your awareness, on your emotional capacity and nervous system. What your nervous system also allowed you to make. Isn't that true? I don't think somebody consciously takes a bad decision. Subconsciously, we can, because there is so many layers to this human psyche. But consciously, we are always choosing the right decision based on the level of awareness we have, the resources that we have, what we are feeling in that moment. And over time, we have also described feelings as wrong, that feelings are fickle, feelings are don't feel too much, you feel too much, and that has shamed us again and again. But it is not just a few people who feel, everybody feels. Why do we shame ourselves when we feel? Life is a felt experience. We all feel. Some things, especially when it comes to how we love, how we experience this life, it is hardly a matter of words. It is a matter of feelings and emotions. When you allow yourself to say, I did what I did based on what I knew and felt back then, a lot of healing takes place then. Because healing, in my understanding, is about self acceptance, accepting yourself fully and completely, your bright sides as well as your shadow sides. There is nothing wrong with you. You just need to accept yourself, which is not as easy to say as I'm saying right now. It takes a lot of strength, it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of inner work. And how I'm saying is cannot ever fully describe the depth of the work, the depth of this feeling. When you truly accept yourself, the only thing that I can say is everything changes. But how it changes, it is also felt and not just said. Words hold power. There is nothing wrong with it. But feeling holds even more power. And if you understand this and truly embody it, you'll realize how you'll also start to manifest the kind of life that you want. This is why even all those positive affirmations don't really necessarily work until you have the right feelings combined with them. Feeling something deeply shifts our perspective, our life, our reality, even without words. So, if you have a strong feeling, even if you don't have the words, your life shifts as per your feeling. Yes, feelings come and go, but there are stronger feelings that stay. And when they stay in the body, sometimes it's not just about the joyful feelings, it's also about the emotional wounding, the feelings that feel stuck, that need a release. And sometimes we don't have the awareness or even the wisdom to understand what stayed with us. And that's why when we begin this inner work, we realize that it's not just one thing that I felt that this is wrong. There were so many other things, and they come to the surface, they come to light because finally we find the words to describe the feeling because everybody is intelligent in hindsight. They are not appearing suddenly out of the blue. It is happening because we are finally getting in touch with ourselves. We are finally able to find words, find language, give language to something that we went through, that we truly deeply felt. And when we allow ourselves to feel them, and that's why people say feel your feelings. This is why it is important. When we allow ourselves to truly feel them, understand them, we can release them from our mind, our body, and our soul. And that is when real healing starts. Please remember, everybody is intelligent in hindsight. If you start to look at your life in that way, that I am intelligent now, but even then, at that time, I was intelligent. I took the decision based on what I knew back then, based on all the awareness, all the wisdom, all the resources that I had back then, based on what I felt back then. You will start to release a lot of this guilt and shame that you have harbored over so much of your lifetime. This is when real shift starts to happen. We unburden ourselves from guilt, we unburden ourselves from shame, we stop punishing ourselves for the decisions that we have made, for the partners we chose, for different things that have happened in our lives. We finally start to release these feelings, these stuck feelings, emotions from our body. Realizing that I didn't know better then makes me feel better now. I can choose to start seeing myself as the person who didn't have enough life experience to realize that what I was feeling was taking me towards something different that I didn't realize. But actually, it was also the right decision for me at that time, because based on my feeling, it felt right to me at that time. So we didn't know better then, but now we do. And based on this realization, when you start to take action now, your inner work starts to show up in your life and you become more you. Now you can choose to be more aware. You can choose to take a different action. You can choose to become more gentle, more compassionate with yourself. And that to me is true healing. True healing is where you accept yourself with your flaws and all, then you choose to take a different decision from what you took in the past, because now you are intelligent in the hindsight. You have analyzed your life, you have reflected on your life, you have felt your feelings, and now you're choosing something different. And that really, really is the beginning of an unstoppable journey. So, that is what I had for you today. Please let me know what felt right to you, what spoke to you. I would love to talk to you about these things. This is what I live for. Am I'm passionate about helping you become your unstoppable version by letting you feel all your feelings and releasing what you don't want in your life anymore. Because every feeling has a place in our life, it helps us to become more of us. But sometimes it just gets stuck in our body, and we need to release those feelings in order to make space for the feelings that we require to become more of us. So that is what I had for you today. I hope to see you. I hope to talk to you in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great, great day or night whenever you're watching me.